Hi, second graders. Today we are going to be reading the story of Lady Liberty, written by Cameron, Madeline, Melina, and Jocelyn.
Where did Lady Liberty come from? Lady Liberty was a gift from the French people, showing a friendship between France and the United States during the American Revolution. The French liberals had hoped that democracy would prevail and that freedom and justice for all would be obtained. Lady Liberty was built in Paris, France, and then brought by boat to the island. It took a total of 9 years to completely build the statue. So in the picture there, you can see the way in which the statue was built in different sections and then put all together.
What does Lady Liberty look like? The Statue of Liberty was originally a dull brown color because of its copper composition. However, it turned green as the copper oxidized as the years passed by. Lady Liberty is very tall and heavy. The statue is 151 feet tall from the base to the torch and 31 tons heavy. Lady Liberty has a crown with 7 spikes. Many believe the 7 spikes represent either the 7 seas, 7 continents of the world, or the rays of the sun, which shows that Lady Liberty is divine. In her right hand, she holds a torch above her head and a tablet in her left hand. The tablet has July 4th, 1776 in Roman numerals inscribed, which represents the date of the U.S. Declaration of Independence. This is a special document that explains why the 13 colonies were forming a new country, which is the United States of America.
So, what do people think about Lady Liberty? So, in a New Yorker's point of view, they say that they don't really see the Statue of Liberty on a daily basis because of all of those huge buildings that surrounds the island of Manhattan. So, as you guys can tell in one of the photos, I actually took that when I visited New York in around 2019, and you really couldn't see past those big buildings because they're huge. Also, Ellis Island is which is where the statue is located is 7 miles out from Manhattan. So the only way to really get there is by a boat. Um, they say that the best view from land is from the most northern top of Manhattan Island. For some, the statue represents a beacon of hope for a free and new life coming into America, especially for immigrants arriving to America in between the years of 1886 and 1924. They would see the statue as a symbol of um, freedom, but also when they arrived, they saw it as a symbol that they had arrived in the land of their dreams.
Now that we have read the story of the Lady Liberty, we are going to hear from the authors. They will be answering the questions of what the Statue of Liberty means to them.
As an Asian American, it is quite difficult for me to answer this question. The Declaration of Independence states that all men are created equal. However, it is evident that this is far from the truth. The United States is filled with racism and inequality that has been prevalent for a long time now. As filmmaker Ken Burns stated, the Statue of Liberty represents higher aspirations of what America can and should be, but it is also a reminder of where and how far we fall short.
To me, the Statue of Liberty serves as a welcoming symbol to immigrants, giving them hope for the new opportunities that lay ahead. Additionally, the Statue of Liberty reminds us of the journey it has taken to reach the point we are at today with having democracy. By having democracy, it would then mean to stand up for what is still unjust in our society even now. Therefore, the statue continues to serve as a symbol, reminding us to enlighten our future paths and fight for what is right.
So instead of answering this question with just my response, I decided to ask both my parents the same question because they did immigrate here at a young age. And so their response was that growing up, they never heard of the Statue of Liberty or New York City even because they lived in a poor little town in Mexico. And they only knew about it once they immigrated here when they went to school and they learned about the Statue of Liberty. And they themselves had said that they created this notion that the Statue of Liberty was really just a way to show that this is the land that you can make anything happen. It was a land that you can be free, a land that you had all of these possibilities lined up. And because of them, because of the things that they have instilled in not only myself and my sisters, what the Statue of Liberty means to me is that it is freedom. It is showing us that here in America, it is a place to be whatever we want. So.
When the Statue of Liberty was made, it was made to represent freedom and to represent the relationship between different countries. And it was also a symbol of the dreamland, because that would be the first thing immigrants would see when they would get closer to the land. But for me, I can't see it as a symbol of freedom, because in our country, not everybody is treated the same. Not everybody is thought of the same based off of their race and economic status. Even though I don't see it as a symbol of freedom, I do see it as a symbol of like fighting for your rights. Since it's supposed to symbolize freedom, we need to fight for equal rights for everybody, no matter their race, no matter the economic status. We need to make sure everybody's treated equally and fairly.